Anton, congratulations, best judge already.
I know. I'm overwhelmed really, but I'm so grateful to everybody who's voted, and the fans of the show and the people who have stood by the show for 20 series and love the show and new viewers. And my children are young; they're five and a half, and they love it, and it's wonderful. And I'm as I say, I'm grateful to everybody who's voted.
And what does it mean to you to be a judge on the 20th series, winning an award for it? You must just be counting all your blessings.
Well, I am. I sort of go to bed at night and go down on one knee and thank my lucky stars for Strictly and all it's brought me over the years. It's been a joy. It feels like I'm about to give it up. I'm not for another 20 years. I feel very grateful to the show. I think the show is wonderful, though. I think the audiences are brilliant and wonderful, and they love the show the same as I do. And I feel very proud of being in the show since the beginning. I feel very proud about that, and I speak to Craig about it. It's Craig, myself, and Tess have been there since the first day one, and I have an enormous amount of pride in that. And to finally win something, or win an award for judging, it just sort of vindicates everything I feel about the show and the way I treat the show and the way I do what I do on the show. The audience, I think, like.
And are you going to be lauding this over your fellow judges?
Oh, I'm going to be a nightmare. I'm going to be wandering about with this all the time. I think one of them might steal it and do something terrible to it.
And who are you loving on Strictly this year?
Well, I have to be honest with you, all of them. I mean, I know it's rubbish and it doesn't help you very much for your audition, but I think it's a very even year. As I've been judging, I've been thinking I'm giving out a lot of the same score here, but I do find them to be quite even, which is great because they'll all have good weeks and bad weeks. And I mean, last week, for example, Ellie Taylor, the other Ellie, didn't have such a great week. She did cha-cha. Next week, she'll probably have a ballroom dance and be exquisite. So I love that up and downness about everybody. And I think it's going to make for really interesting dance-offs and bottom twos. And I'm looking forward to the series as it goes on.
And who has shown the most improvement so far? Obviously, we're coming into week 4. People are starting to learn more techniques. Who you've been really
Tony's made an enormous improvement. I mean, if you're just talking about who's improved from where they were, I think Tony's made an enormous improvement. I mean, Tyler was very good when he started, and Molly's very good when she started. Will has been great and consistent as well. They'll have bad weeks. They'll have weeks where it just doesn't work. But Helen's coming out of herself a bit more, and I think that's going to be lovely to see her develop. So it's going to be a lot to watch.
Going into week 4, we've got the first couple's choice, we've got the first Argentine tango.
Even I didn't know.
Do you think it's a little bit early for some of these more technically difficult dances? No. We had rumbas as well.
Well, they're all difficult. I mean, they are literally all difficult. There's not if I said you do an easy one, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one that was. They're all difficult. And I like these sorts of dances to come in now, because I can see a different side of the couples, their artistry, whether they have any sort of musicality in that direction. Certainly with the couple's choice, I'm interested to see what their choice is as well. And then able if they can get the sort of passion and the intimacy and the intensity of an Argentine tango and pull that off. Because that's not just about the choreography, that's about the moment. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And it's never been more important than ever to vote to save the favourites. It was quite a shocker last week.
The audience know, and they're great with that, and they always do. So I just love the audience to be as involved as they can, as much as you can, because then we just get great results.
And I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you for names, but do you have an idea of who's going to make the top 4?
No, not really, because, there's going to be, as I said before, there's going to be this is terrible for you, and I know, and I don't want to be disingenuous, but genuinely, there are going to be weeks where people don't have a good dance. It's just, when does it come? If it comes in the quarterfinals, and suddenly you have a bad dance, and then suddenly you're in a dance-off, there aren't many bad ones left, so you're going to be up against somebody really good, and you're probably going to get beaten. So, it really is just when your bad dance happens.
And no signs of going anywhere just yet?
Me? Are you mad? I've just won an award. I'm here for 100 years.
I'll have to wheel you out.
You'll have to wheel me out. You'll have to put me in a box. Feet first, as someone once said.